close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
What up, Toasty? How you doing? What up? Into something new. I'm doing NFL picks, talking sports. Figured I'd transition to trying to do sports. So hopefully you enjoy. What's up? What's up for this week?
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting up earlier. I'm trying to pivot the streams to something a bit more wide range in the sense of where I can meet different people. And I figured talking sports is a great way to grow. I think the NFL is a lot of fun, so listen, you don't have to be here, but today I'm just talking NFL, and then that's it. I'm talking NFL. I got some picks for the week. Pretty much just all gonna be sports. This is just gonna be sports for the whole stream.
Ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear.
Okay.
I've been flying from town to town, from London to
I don't know who you're watching the stream so early in the morning, but
We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
have you been streaming though?
We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Hello.
The first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
I think that's fine for music level. How about right there?
Discovery's core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
I think that works. Hello, welcome to okay. Well, I'm going in with a new direction, Timsty, so prepare for that. Here we go. Hello, welcome to AD Suga's Sportscast of week 3 going into the NFL season. Today we're going to be talking about a multitude of things. Okay, perfect. So 9:22. 2 days, gotcha. Welcome to AD Suga's Sports Show. NFL Week 3 picks and recap of Thursday Night Football. Because Thursday Night Football happened 2 days ago. And let's just say the Dolphins are still alive. Dolphins are still alive. I think there's a chance that they can continue their season. We're going to talk about big matchups going into this week. Man, there's going to be a lot of good games. I know that for the most part, people think this week there's not a slew of good games like there were these first 2 weeks of the NFL season. However, that's the best part about the NFL is you don't know what you're going to get until game day. So we'll see what's going to happen this week, and I think there are some games that you guys might want to watch this weekend. So we'll talk about those updates that I've seen with injuries. I know Jaden Daniels is officially ruled out. He will be I think week to week or day to day. And then we have I'm going to sleep now. No. Alright, bro. Good night. See ya. We are going to discuss Jaden Daniels is, I think, out for at least this week, and I'm pretty sure he's considered week to week. on the mat. It's better. Yes, I think. Let's see this one. This one. All right, so yeah, Jaden Daniels is going to be out for the game this weekend. It's going to be an interesting matchup. The Commanders are still solid team without him. And luckily they're playing the Raiders, and that team needs to get some stuff going. So we'll talk about that more later in the program. I think, yeah, we've got some things to talk about and some things to discuss. So first thing on week 3 is the first game that happened this past weekend. We saw a better game than we thought we were gonna see. Can I be honest with you? Most people were writing this game off and saying that, you know, Bills are gonna put 12 on them. 12.5 was the spread. And it came down to an interception. An interception that, oof. Tua. Listen, man, I think Tua has what it takes to be a quarterback in this league. We've seen it before. We all know his capabilities. We saw flashes of it throughout his NFL career. It's just now we need to see it consistently. In the NFL, there's 17 games that you play in a regular season. That's not a lot of chances. So quarterbacks, that's the reason why it's such a quarterback-driven league, is because consistency matters. And if your quarterback isn't consistent for 17 weeks, you know, it's tough. But I think he can bounce back. I don't think the Dolphins' season is necessarily over. Next week they play the Jets on Monday night. So had an early week this week, and I have a long break to play the Jets and potentially Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields, depending on the concussion protocol. So we'll see how that goes. However, let's just break it down to the game. Okay, Bills versus the Dolphins. 31-21 Bills. I watched the second half of this game and the first quarter. I didn't watch the second quarter, and I had it on in the background because I didn't think it was going to be as exciting as it was, and it turned out to be. Yes, I did hop onto the train of this is a snooze fest. We'll definitely watch the highlights and then get ready for Sunday in football. But the Dolphins came out, and they came out to play, man. A-Chan got a rushing touchdown, first touchdown of the game, I'm pretty sure. But I know the Dolphins scored first, and the Bills then came in and ran it up on the Dolphins. But, man, listen. Allen did have a good day, 22 of 28, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's good. Bills offense has seen the least amount of pressures in the entire NFL. And that is after that game. That's before everybody else has played their game, and still after their third week, before anyone else has played, the Buffalo Bills offensive line has allowed the least amount of pressures, man. Gonna watch out for the offensive line. I'm gonna highlight that for later in the season. And then we talk about the Dolphins offense and their offensive line. The weaknesses, as I saw it from watching film, is the interior line. And I don't know what's going on with the NFL, if there is a lack of or a different mindset going into playing interior offensive linemen. Are they just more rare? Like, you gotta be a dog, you gotta be nitty gritty, you're going against a defensive tackle. most of the entire game. They're gonna hit you with stunts. They're gonna hit you with blitzes. You're gonna get set for a pass rush, and you have a defensive tackle on a 3 technique right in front of you, and then the defensive end comes out of a stunt. Defensive tackle jumps up. Now you got this quick DN. You gotta be mobile. You gotta put the hands right on the chest. And I know it's hard because a lot of defensive linemen are a bit more athletic, but that brings the issue where, like, offensive linemen can't be more athletic, you know what I mean? Because it's not just the Dolphins. I see it often in the NFL. The interior of the O-line is tough. I mean, the Ravens right guard, I think, is a weak point in their offensive line. But back to the point of the Dolphins have generated zero pressure on defense. Bradley Chubb, I saw a couple good plays in the fourth quarter, and I was like, I need to go watch some film on Bradley Chubb. And then it was like, Bradley Chubb turns up in the fourth quarter. He is not there all 4 quarters. His presence isn't felt all 4 quarters. And that just goes to show, because James Cook went for 19 carries, 108 yards, and a TD. So it's not just the offensive line in the interior, it's the defensive line in the interior as well for the Dolphins. And you hate to see that. I think Ollie Gordon had a couple nice runs. Great second effort running back. He usually would break a tackle and then going up to the second level. Ran well and usually would get yards after the second tackle, if not breaking that third tackle before a slew of defenders would bring him down. I think he had a good running game. The Dolphins in general really relied heavily on the run game. You can see it. They had a lot of 2 to 4, 5 yard inside runs, and that's really set up the pass game. And Tua is just, I don't know, do you blame the head coach? Do you blame Tua? Tua's response was saying that he'll throw that ball 10 out of 10 times. When you watch the play back, you're like, I wouldn't throw that ball 10 out of 10 times. So that became a whole discussion on Friday. And now we're here discussing what are the Dolphins looking like going into week 4, 0-3 against the Jets. Can they pull off the win? I think so. The Buffalo Bills look like the best team in NFL football. It was a divisional game, yes, so obviously there's history there. I think fans tend to neglect the impact of a divisional game. They know each other. They play each other 2 times a year. They see each other often. So obviously the Dolphins did the best they could, and props to that Dolphins defense, man. I think the Dolphins defense played great. They had 3 stops in a row, and on the third one, I tweeted out, I was like, the Dolphins defense has stopped the Bills 3 and out 3 times in a row. And then the last one, they roughed the kicker. Bills got the first down. What can you do? Field goal. And that was game. So, I mean, not a bad showing. Not a terrible showing for the Dolphins. And not a horrendous game to watch. It was pretty fun and exciting there near the end. And so, I think overall, I mean, I should look at the Dolphins schedule. Right now, they're at the bottom of the AFC East. Shocker to nobody. Give me, let's see. Looking for the Dolphins. Let's see. The Dolphins, okay, here we go. The Dolphins play the Jets next, then the Panthers. Okay, those are 2 easy wins. 2 winnable games, I should say. Nothing's easy in NFL. 2 winnable games. Then you have the Chargers, oof. But then you got the Browns, okay. All right, you can bounce back from that. That's at least potentially 3 wins. You go against the Falcons week 8 at Atlanta. That's going to be a nitty-gritty game. That's an afternoon game, so interesting to see that one. Then you got the Ravens and the Bills again. Commanders by that time. Jaden Daniels healthy. Saints, Jets, Steelers, Bengals, Bucks, Patriots. I don't know, man. That team is going to have to get its form together quick and soon because their schedule is not easy. Wow. That is not an easy schedule for players or anybody to say. Like, you're already 0-3, and your next couple of games, it's looking like you can probably go. Your next 3 games, play the Jets, Panthers, Chargers. You can go 2-1. You can. And then that puts you at 2-5. So P's and Q's to the Dolphins Nations. Fins up. Let's keep it swimming. Next, third docket on today's broadcast. There are some games this week that I think are better than most. Some matchups that have a bit more oomph to them, a bit more emphasis or importance, we should say, potentially value. And there are some teams I like going into this third week of the NFL. And I really think the Dolphins could get it together. Like, just looking at their schedule now is the first time I looked at their schedule. It's going to be tough. That's going to be a rough one. I wonder if they decide to trade Tyreek Hill or not. That would be interesting to see. I'm going to make sure I got this next part ready to go for you guys. Here we go. In this week in the NFL, there's some snoozers, people are saying. I enjoy every game, so I don't think there's a single snoozer ever. And the Dolphins proved that going into Thursday night, they were a good team and that was a good game. So going into week 3 of the NFL, these are Suga's or my 5 savory matchups for week 3 going into the NFL. Yes, I use the pun of my name Suga for names like savory and other words like sweet that we will get into. So these are my 5 savory matchups for week 3, and by savory I mean, I'm gonna need a beer with that, and you know what I mean by you'll want to have to sit down and kind of enjoy these games for week 3, and I think these are good ones. And we potentially have some hidden gems here that you guys might not be looking out for in week 3. The first one coming in at number 5. Excuse me. Is the Patriots versus the Steelers. And for each game, I'm going to have my 3 sweet takeaways. And for this one, it's Aaron Rodgers, number 1. Aaron Rodgers is a leader of that offense, the leader of that offense, excuse me. And they just need to get a bit more foundation, a bit more of a rhythm, and look more steady, in my opinion, to help that defense, which is quite lacking this year, and we'll get into that later. But I think Aaron Rodgers has the potential to win this game, carry the Steelers to a W in this game, because what is Rabel going to show that he hasn't seen before? I think they've played. Maybe Rabel was still in the league when Aaron Rodgers was playing. Like, who knows? And Rabel's a coach now. I think Aaron Rodgers, with all that experience, he still can throw it. Don't get me wrong, he can still throw it. People are down in that arm, but I think he is going to be the key factor for the Steelers offense to carry them for a W in this game. The second sweet takeaway I got going into this game is that's all nice and sweet. Aaron Rodgers can put up 35 points, potentially, maybe 20, but what about that Steelers defense? What about the opposite side of where TJ Watt is lined up? What are they going to do? Are they going to blitz every time? Are they going to have a linebacker over the other side, the opposite end of TJ Watt, to make sure that they have enough bodies to stop the run to help that weak side on the defense? They have the most expensive defense in the league, and it doesn't show. Kenneth Walker, if you were here on Thursday night before Thursday night's game, I talked about Kenneth Walker tearing that defense apart, and they only ran to the opposite side of TJ Watt. He only had 4 snaps to the side of TJ Watt was lined up. Insane. 4 snaps the entire game they ran the ball to TJ Watt's side. So that's a big issue with the run game. I think the Patriots have a solid run game going in to this week, and I think it will only go into to further improve going into the NFL season. And then that secondary, I mean, Drake May was throwing it around. Everybody was catching the ball on the Patriots side. Gonna have to watch out for that. And then the play action is going to be in a big effect into stopping that pass game for the quick throws. A lot of the NFL right now is short, quick passes. People are trying to find and establish their deep threat game, and we will see how that goes. I mean, yeah, that defense has a lot of question marks around it going into this game. And my last sweet takeaway going into this game is Drake May. Can he continue to do what he did last week? Can the defense find and handle the weaknesses of Aaron Rodgers? He's still a 2-time MVP, Super Bowl champion. Don't forget it. And they also have Mike Tomlin on that side. There's just so much experience on the Steelers sideline going against this young Patriots roster and team. Not first-year head coach, not first-time head coach, but first year in the uniform of the Patriots for Mike Rabel. Josh Daniels is back, and this goes back to when Ben Roethlisberger, for me at least, growing up watching Ben Roethlisberger and Tom Brady going against each other. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a itty-gritty game, and the winner of this game advances to 2-1. Make sure I got that right. We go 2-1. Oh, Steelers Pats. Pats are 1-1. Steelers are 1-1. Yep, 2-1. That's a win in their conference. It helps for playoffs. And where is it at? It is at New England. Can they do it in that hometown crowd? Oof, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. Who do the Steelers play next? The Steelers play the Vikings next. So this could be good for them if they win this game. And the Patriots play the Panthers, so they're looking to win potentially week 4. So this game right here, I mean, Drake May having the home ground advantage, we shall see. Can Can they keep that offense going? Can the defense stay steady? How is Ray Ball going to respond to Aaron Rodgers? How is that defense going to respond to Aaron Rodgers? How is that offensive line going to handle TJ Watt going into this week? I mean, yeah, you can run the ball on the other side against him, but is your offensive line good enough to even slow him down so that you can run the ball on the other side? Because don't forget it, the Seattle Seahawks, they put a fullback in. I mean, I think the Patriots will find something, but the Seahawks, they put some bodies on the field to run the ball. So we'll see what happens there. Very exciting game for that one, I think. People are not paying their attention to that one. I think that one has so much going into it. I mean, is Aaron Rodgers really still got it? Is Drake May the next guy? This will be a good game. Okay, coming in at number 4 for my 4th savory matchup of week 3 is savory matchup is correct. Yep, is Houston versus the Jaguars. This game right here, folks. This game right here holds so much weight for CJ Stroud, who is 0-2. The Jags are 1-1. They look good. I'm not ashamed to say it. They look good. It's a divisional game. And it's at Jacksonville. Man, CJ Stroud needs to figure out how to get this offense in rhythm, how to get his boys going, how to get Nico Collins the ball even on, not just for the beautiful deep throw down the right side of the end zone, but to get you those first downs on third down, to get Nick Chubb in there to get you on third down, to get you the first down on third down. And where is Joe Mixon? That is a very much necessary person for this Texans run game. I know we're talking about a lot right there. I know I opened up with a lot, but let's break it down. Listen, man. First things first, CJ Stroud. I love this guy. I saw this guy play in Ohio State when I was bartending in Maryland, and I had a regular who was a Ohio State fan during the years of CJ Stroud, and his number one complaint, get this, was that CJ never ran for it, never scrambled in the pocket to get a couple yards. He'd just throw it away. And he'd be like, why he never scrambled? And then in the NFL, CJ Stroud comes in and starts like, and you notice, and I realized in that moment, I was like, oh, he was saving it for the NFL. So I can scramble, but I'm not going to scramble for a national championship. I'm going to scramble for a wild card NFL playoff game. And so CJ Stroud, high hopes for him. I love D'Amico Ryans. I love that defense. I love Will Anderson. They got who else? Danielle Hunter, who has been amazing on that defensive front. So I really love that defense. But CJ Stroud needs to show improvements from week 1 and 2. Man. Week 1 and 2, he's not hitting the throws that he should. He's not reading defenses correctly. Man, make the checks. Where's the pre-snap reads? Where are you going? I don't know. He looks lost. And you hate to see that. He has those flashes, don't get me wrong, but man, CJ Stroud has been a consistent quarterback in this league. And last year, he did get sacked a lot. That offensive line is a struggle. So could that be part of his woes? I'm not trying to make excuses, but if you get sacked a lot, you tend to tend to flinch quite often. So we'll see how it goes for him heading into week 3 against the Jags. He needs to have a big game to win this game, because let me tell you, the other quarterback on the other team, Trevor Lawrence, if it's not for the picks, he is looking like an MVP candidate. Trevor Lawrence needs to be more careful. That's it. So just be more careful. But man, you see the college, and I think it's definitely an aspect of college. He won the national championship in college, and by doing that, how did he do that in college? Well, let me tell you, if you weren't aware, I think it was 2015. 2017. It was around the teens of the 20s, and he was chucking it downfield. We're in the NFL now, and that shit don't work. And defensive corners, you gotta stop downing them. And if he does that, man, this guy is freaking fun to watch. I think they have a good team. I think they have a good offense. Wasn't a fan of Liam Cohen, still not a fan, but this team might be one of creeping up. I'm putting this on the team as to watch. This team is officially on watch. Highlight this team. They're officially on watch, because CJ Stroud needs to have a big game, but this could also propel the Jaguars into a very good standing heading into week 4 in the NFL. And the last thing, man, we prefaced it in the beginning, but where's Joe Mixon at? Nick Chubb, he had that run for the touchdown. That was great for the parlay. But besides that, that offensive line needs to get some more space. I was watching a little bit of film, not a lot, so I have not much to say. But from the parts that I did watch, I think Nick Chubb has to have better vision, and the offensive line needs to just open up the hole just a little bit more, so he can get on the tail on your backside as an offensive lineman. But he also needs to be a lot faster to get into those holes, and a little bit of in his step would be nice to see from him, because of that rushing offense is atrocious, and that needs to get fixed. I hope it does. Okay, coming in at number 3. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a blast here with this film. Let's just see if anyone has tuned into any of my streams. No, but we are 38 minutes in. Recapped a lot. We'll see. Okay. Heading in. Heading in week 3. Heading into week 3. My number 3 favorite matchup for this week goes to, and people might want this higher, but it's 3, because it's the Broncos and the Chargers. Man, oh man, this game should be a fun. Hold on. Okay. So my initial thoughts for this game, and we'll get into my 3 sweet takeaways. My initial thoughts are Herbert's consistency. We need to see Justin Herbert be consistent. The run game needs to go into full swing. And so since we're on that, and since it's the first topic of my 3 sweet takeaways for this matchup, let's get into it. I think the run game, Marlon Hampton needs to get either his vision right or needs to get some more reps in practice so that in game can get in those holes and break up to the second level, because I think that run game is 2 steps away from being so dynamic and so explosive. Watch out for Martin Hampton. This is a 4 p.m. game, but I think it is the best 4 p.m. game in the afternoon. That Chargers offensive line, is it still going to hold up? They've had so far 2 injuries, one prior to the season and one in the week 1 or week 2 of the NFL. So you have Joe Alt out there going against that Broncos defense. And that Broncos defense, they like to blitz, man. They like to blitz a lot. But I don't know how they're going to do going into that game. How is that offensive line going to handle the blitz and handle the run game as well? I think the run game is going to be a key component in this for both sides of the team, but especially for the Chargers, because J.K. Dobbins is playing against his old team, but he was only there for a year. It's not like he was playing against the Ravens, so I don't know if this is a revenge game for him to see how the Broncos run game kind of goes and swings, if that has any effect into it. I just think the Chargers run game, watching them play the Chiefs and on prime time against the Raiders on Monday night, I honestly think that run game is literally just a fraction or a step or 2 away from being dominant in the NFL going into week 3 against the Broncos. The second sweet takeaway going into this game is, what is Bo Nix going to look like? I mean, they lost, sure, but I think Bo Nix looked great. Maybe feeling I really have, he needs to make a bit more of the plays, but that's also a discussion between him and Sean Payton. Like, there is a moment on the sideline where he was like, "Bo, I know what I want." So Sean knew what he wanted in the moment. Whether it was what Bo wanted, we don't know. But I think Bo Nix is having a good start to his season. That defense though just needs to get it going quick. But they start off a little shaky and then they find the rhythm in the end. But that Colts offense looks good. So we'll see how that happens. How that happens to shape up in the game. But yeah, I mean, Troy Franklin is great for Bo Nix in the Sean Payton offense. You can tell that that's probably his magic trick of the season. Troy Franklin is a weapon, but then you have Dorian James on the opposite side. He's probably going to watch, especially after week 2 against the Colts. You can kind of see that the game was getting tight and close, and Sean Payton was pulling out tricks out of his bag. And that trick was Troy Franklin, and he had a big momentum swing in that game. But you got Derwin James over the top watching him. How is Bo Nix going to handle that? I'm so curious. And last but not least is Justin Herbert. Like I said, Justin Herbert, man, needs to be consistent. Needs to keep doing what he's doing. Honestly, that's all it is. The Broncos defense blitz a lot, but Justin Herbert is second in success rate in handling pressure when blitzed. When blitzed, he has gone 18 to 24, 264 yards and 2 TDs. I mean, he has Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, and now also Troy Franklin. The guy has weapons. Martin Hampton is a great pick. He's going to crush it. I think if he gets the ball more, we'll see where that can go for that Chargers offense. But if the Broncos only blitz, and they blitz, I forget what the stat was. Just give me a second here. I think the Broncos have blitzed 57% of the time. I think it was. So that's going to be interesting to see. And then on the opposite side for Bo Nix is not good under pressure. He needs to clean it up in those third down situations when he is facing the blitz and feeling some pressure in the pocket. If he can do that, then yeah, I think he will have potentially a great outlook to his season. So we'll see how that goes. Bo Nix just needs to clean up on those third down situations, and I think they have a solid chance going into this game. But we'll see. We'll see. Watch out for Troy Franklin and Dorian James. That's gonna be good. James has good vision. Broncos use Franklin as a sneak player, and that's Sean Payne magic trick, man. Troy Franklin. Watch out for that one. That's going to be another good game. But that was only number 3 on my 5 savory matchups. Here's if you guys know what number 1 or 2 is. After this, I will be playing Valorant. We'll see if I stream it or not, but check out my Twitch stream at Lifestyle Suga. All those who are watching the VODs on YouTube, X or Twitch, appreciate you guys coming in, watching today. Hope you guys are having fun, having a lot of fun. We have the second team of my favorite matchup, and the second team, I'll say it, the second game, sorry, not second team, the second team, the second, I keep saying team, the second matchup of my top 5 savory matchups going into week 3 has to go to the Ravens versus the Lions. And they're also at Baltimore, Monday Night Football. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I'm not trying to find a way to go to this game. Okay. Ravens versus Lions. Prime time banger. Prime time banger. My first sweet takeaway and my 3 sweet takeaways is the Ravens run game. Derrick Henry rushed for less than 30 yards against the Browns. Don't get me wrong, the Browns defense, run defense, is considered the best in the NFL statistically speaking. And they held him to 23 yards. Now you're facing Aiden Hutchinson, Brian Branch, and let me tell you, Brian Branch is becoming a key piece in that Lions defense this season. And he has in the past, but it's good to see him coming off hot, fast, and early into the year. So how is this run game going to fare against the Detroit Lions defense that pretty much, if it wasn't for injuries last year, their defense should have been one of the top defense of the year, and they retained a lot of their players. So very interested to see. They kept the Chicago Bears to 21 points, and the Bears got 21 points. I tell you right now, if the Ravens can get 21 points, that's going to be a good game against the Detroit Lions. That defense, how's it going to hold up? But that Ravens running game, Derrick Henry, not just because he's on my fantasy team, and it really hurt to see him only get 23 yards, I'm pretty sure it was. Don't quote me on that, but we need to see a run game from the Ravens so that they win this game. Um. Yeah. What I put, okay. But yeah, I think if Lamar Jackson can get open maybe with some screens, open up the run game with some screens to Derrick Henry, that opens up play action for Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. You still got Mark Andrews, who people need to pay more attention to. He is not very much. I don't know if the defenses are covering well. I need to watch more film on him, but watch out for Mark Andrews still on that Ravens offense. But those people don't really shine unless that Ravens run game gets going. And so that's what we need to see more of this week from the Ravens to get that offense really nice and humming. Lamar Jackson still crushed the Browns with the air, don't get me wrong. But I think this week, going against the Lions defense, you have to do a bit more than that. My second sweet takeaway is Jared Goff. People were calling him Jared Goofalowski if you watch the Pat McAfee show daily like I do. Or if we watch Rich Eisen, you said, hey, the Packers are a good team. Give the guy a chance, you know? They're legit. They are for real. They make teams look stupid. And they made the Commanders look rough, sending Jaden Daniels out for this upcoming game. So he had a point. Jared Goff, he's in week 2, had 3 TDs to St. Brown. I think he had 5 total. Jahmyr Gibbs to a touchdown. But that Ravens defense, Raekwon Smith, gonna watch out for that pressure to set up the run game. Jahmyr Gibbs, you got Montgomery in the backfield, Sonic and Knuckles. But Raekwon Smith and number 92, we love, and I'm gonna butcher his name, but it's Namadi Merabike, number 92 in the Ravens defense. So I think he's gonna get in the backfield a bunch. How is Jared Goff gonna handle the pressure in his face? Because week 1, when it was in his face, he didn't handle it well. So I'm curious to see week 3, how is he gonna handle Raekwon Smith and Merabike going in against that Detroit Lions offense. However, it ties into my third takeaway, which is that Ravens secondary. Listen, they stepped up against the Browns. They did. But this is not the Browns receiving core. This is the Detroit Lions receiving core, where you have Williams, Jameson Williams, had 108 yards for 2 catches, by the way. 108 yards for 2 catches out of 4 targets and 1 TD. St. Brown, 3 TDs, 115 yards off of 9 catches. Burn the love. Jahmyr Gibbs, 104 total yards, 1 catch, 1 reception, 1 catch for 10 yards, 94 yards rushing, and a TD. What is going to happen with that Ravens secondary? Because all this motion now that the Lions are doing again, now we got Kyle Hamilton on the other side. We know that. We know we have Humphreys on the defensive side. I understand that. But man, can that Lions offense get tricky, and how is that Ravens defense going to handle all that pre-snap, post-snap, all 4 quarters? We shall see. We shall see, because the Bills exposed that, and the run game for James Cook helped them in week 1. But the Lions, man, Jared Goff facing pressure with the Packers defensive line, that is going to be a must-watch. Interesting stat going in. Ravens go too high on defensive snaps 72.6% of the time. Too high means cover 2 usually, and yeah. So watch out for that. Watch out for that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what too high means. I'm watching some film, not film. I'm watching some videos to try to learn defenses. But I'm pretty sure too high is cover 2. So nothing pretty much underneath, can control the run game, and nothing overhead, can control the run game, and pretty much a little bit over the middle. But if they run that in nickel, where you have 5 cornerbacks, 4 defensive linemen, so that's 9, and 2 linebackers, you can you stretch yourself out more a little bit because you have a bit more speed. So little tidbit there for you for that game going into it. Number 1. The number 1 savory matchup for this Sunday. And I am a Rams fan. I also currently reside in Pennsylvania. Grew up in Pennsylvania. I support the Eagles. But baby, oh baby, I die by the Rams. Happy to see the Eagles get 2 Super Bowls. My Rams got a Super Bowl as well in the past 5 years. So good for all parties. But the playoff last year left a hole in my chest. But we have a redemption game, massive redemption game at 1 o'clock. I know, 1 o'clock, boo shmoo. Why isn't the Sunday night games that of the Chiefs versus the Giants? That could be a 1 o'clock game. They should be the Sunday night game. Yes, it should. But life is not fair, and we push on with the world we live in today. So first initial takes looking at this game, massive redemption games. Rams could be 1 or 2 in the NFC after this game. Philly's offense has not found the rhythm yet. The Rams defensive line versus their offensive line versus the Eagles offensive line is going to be a key thing to report into this game. How they're going to handle the rush. As you see, that is my first takeaway of my 3 sweet takeaways into this game. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith on the Eagles offensive side of the ball, sure, no problem. We got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams on the other side of our ball. So which wide receiver duo is going to get there? Which tight end is going to be able to break the seam and the run game? Saquon Barkley. Let's talk about it. Of my first sweet takeaway. Here we go. The Eagles run game. Saquon, first game, I think, maybe broke 100 yards. Second game did not break 100 yards against the Chiefs. The Chiefs have stopped the Eagles run game for necessarily two the 2 times they have faced off back-to-back games. They stopped the Eagles run game. And I think if I was a defensive coordinator or a defensive player, I would definitely watch the Chiefs versus the Eagles to see how they handle Saquon Barkley and how they stop that run game from winding down the clock and just tiring your boys out again and again and again. But luckily, I think the Rams come more prepared this season against the Eagles run game. Don't get it wrong, though. You still got Jordan Mailata, which I think, personally, my favorite tackle in the NFL. Just off of personality, his skills, one of the best, arguably top 5 in the league currently. But I love Jordan Mailata for the Eagles, so it's tough. The Rams right now, Jackson on our side, the right tackle for the Rams, has played amazing since he's been in the lineup. So that is exciting to see. Give me 1 second. One second, people. Sorry. Okay, where was I? Yes. Jordan Mailata is going to be really good. And I think he has a chance to... I think the Eagles have a chance to have a really good game if they can stop the Rams defensive front, which I'll get into later. But yeah, how is this Eagles run game going to shape up? They have a really good offensive line. Cam Jurgens, I think, is injured. I don't know. I have to check. But they got some guys up there, and that offensive line, we saw what the tush push does. I don't think the Rams defense has the big enough guys, big bodies to stop that tush push. So I'm hoping that we don't get them on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 situations where they kind of have to throw the screen and run the ball. We have definitely the speed and the power to get in there, but we got some buff guys. So I mean, if you look at Josiah Stewart in the interior, we'll see how Saquon does in that run game. But the biggest thing too is not just Saquon running the ball, is Jalen Hurts scrambling. So that's why the second is Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is so good at feeling the pressure in the pocket, finding an open seam and breaking out and getting into open field for the first down, sliding, not doing anything extra, just looking ahead. Massive Jalen Hurts fan. Love the swagger, love the attitude. I love it. This is a hard game for me. This is a really hard one because I am a massive Rams fan. Been so for the 10 years. But the Eagles were like my first team I watched. They weren't my team, but everyone around me was an Eagles fan. And so I was like, I guess I'll root for the Eagles. And I saw my first game that like I can remember. My first game was the Eagles stomping on the Giants while I lived in New York. And so I was like, I don't want to be a Giants fan if the Eagles are doing that to us. So deep down, like my childhood me is like, dang, the Eagles. I mean, I grew up around a bunch of Eagles fans, but the Rams, baby, I've been through it all with you guys. I became a Rams fan when they drafted Aaron Donald, and we had Jeff Fisher, but we had Todd Gurley and Jared Goff, and then Todd Gurley had arthritis, and then so I've been riding with the Rams for quite some time. But Jalen Hurts, man, he has that it factor. You know, of course, I was watching the Rams podcast going into talking about this matchup, and they said, you know, hey, I'd rather lose through the air than them running the ball death by 1,000 cuts. I'd rather lose through AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. We have Reese Witherspoon, I think, is injured, but Kobe Durant is a great corner. I think he's a very underrated corner in the league. He's been one of our most stable and consistent cornerbacks for so long. So that's going to be interesting to see against AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and whether Witherspoon plays or not. I have to check on that. It's definitely game of the week. It's going to be a battle of the trenches. Yeah, how is Jalen Hurts is going to handle this? Who knows? We haven't seen much of AJ Brown this year currently. Hitting gems right now: Jalen Hunt, Alec Jackson, Adoree Jackson, Blake Corum, and Darius Williams. Darius Williams is, I think, on the Eagles defensive line. Man. Yeah, so we'll see what Jalen Hurts has, man. We'll see what Jalen Hurts has. The Eagles secondary, that's another thing. How is that going to affect the pass game of Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams versus AJ Brown and Devontae Smith? It'll be interesting matchups on both sides of the ball for offense and defense, I think, at least on the outside or in between the hashes, with the wide receivers and the secondary. And which tight end can break free? Dallas Goedert or Tyler Higbee? We'll see. We'll see, man. Last but definitely not least is my favorite part going into this game that I'm definitely watching is the Rams defensive front. It'll be interesting which player breaks out from this. We have Kobe Turner, we got Jared Verse, we got Byron Young, and Josiah Stewart. I'm excited to see these guys play. I think these four should be on the field together. These are a dominant forward front. We'll love to see them go to town. Don't get me wrong about the other guys. I think our whole defensive line is stacked. Brandon Fisk, I think, is also a great defensive tackle. Let's hope he gets some more reps in this game. Yeah, man, that defensive front is gonna matter. We got Nate Landman, who's been having a stellar season. Great week 1 and 2. Then on the other side, though, key players going into this game: Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Lane Johnson, Cooper DeJean, Devontae Smith, Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Jalen Hurts, Dodson on the wide receivers. Always a deep threat: Zach Bond, Dallas Goedert. And then on the Rams side, we have Jared Verse, Devontae Adams, Byron Young, Josiah Stewart, 3rd round pick, rookie actually, Puka Nacua, Tyler Higbee, Tutu Atwell. We also have Robinson. I forget his first name, but Robinson on the wide receiver. One of the wide receivers was really good: Nate Landman, Kobe Turner, and Kobe Durant. Game of the week. I'm happy if we develop our run game, me personally, a bit more touches with Blake Corum. Blake Corum has that nice, smooth, swift Bijan Robinson cuts. So I hope we get to see more of him in this game. Devontae Adams has been lining up in the slot on 3rd downs. I have been listen, if you're a Rams fan, join in with me. It's 3rd and Devontae. Come on, 3rd down, Devontae Adams. No better wide receiver to throw to on 3rd downs. That is great stuff. Rams offensive line needs to be able to handle the Eagles defensive line. I think that is key for our offense to get going. But my Matthew Stafford, my man, smooth, cool under pressure. I ain't sweating a thing about it. Yeah, and I'm kind of happy. The last point for this game, me personally as a Rams fan, and maybe statistically, I don't know, but the Rams playing away, Matthew Stafford playing away, does it make him better? Does he play better? I think he does. Man, we almost beat the Lions. But he loves Detroit. They're nice to him. But if they're booing him, it's loud. They're booing their own team. They want their own head coach fired after winning the Super Bowl. They think that everyone's still saying Jalen Hurts don't got it. Can he throw? He won the Super Bowl. Can he throw? Yeah, he can throw. What are you talking about? Anyways. But that's going to turn on another gear for old Matthew Stafford. So let's see. That was my 5 savory matchups. It was cool. That was fun. Yeah. We're going to picks next. And let me tell you, picking these games was tough. Teams I like going into this week. Is Seattle, Packers, Jaguars, Falcons, Colts, 49ers, and the Bucks. Going into week 3, I think these teams look phenomenal. I'll throw the Chargers in there. Sorry, I don't know why I don't have them. But the Chargers are playing the Broncos. So that's why it's like, I'm rooting for them. You know what I mean? I'm rooting for a lot of teams. I root for a lot of teams, but I don't know. which team. Yeah, it was me. Dude. I made my picks already, and that's what we'll get into next. Our week 3 picks. We'll do a quick rundown of that. Man, 5 savory takeaways took an hour, huh? Wow. I'm gonna have to watch that back. For sure. But we'll get into picks for NFL Week 3. NFL picks. NFL plus. NFL Pro. NFL Next Gen Stats. Like, am I wrong? I go to NFL.com and it's like I can hear the guy in my ear when I click NFL Fantasy, NFL News. It's like NFL Plus, NFL Plus, NFL Plus Premium, NFL Red Zone. It's like, god dang. We get it. Alright. Respect the shield. Always respect the shield. So, picks going into this week. Hold on, I gotta see something. I did forget who I picked. I did my picks earlier, so I forgot who I picked, so I gotta make sure I'm lining my thoughts up correctly. Okay, Bengals versus Minnesota. Who do I have this game at? Bengals versus Minnesota. Ooh, I'll tell you what, initially I had the Vikings down. I will say initially I had the Vikings down as the surefire winner for that game. However, because of Carson Wentz mania. But then when I was making my picks on my own, I switched to the Bengals. Because I was watching Rich Eisen talk about Chase Brown and how he's going to get some. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. That defense is looking solid. It's not good or great, but they are definitely improving. So that's good to see. I don't know. I think the offense can handle that Brian Flores defense. That Brian Flores defense, that's a big kicker in the Bengals offensive juggernauts. But I think they can handle it. I think the pressure of the offense, probably either throwing picks or be going 3 and out, is going to tire out that Brian Flores defense. So I'm going with the Bengals on this one. Fine, folks. I'm going with the Bengals. Next, we have the Jaguars versus the Houston Texans. It was already on my savory pick of the week. One of my savory matchups of the week. Very excited for this game. It is another 1 o'clock game. So definitely gonna be Rams, Eagles, and Texans, Jags on 2 of my 4 screens currently. So that's definitely gonna take 2 of them. This one being one of them. Will Anderson Jr., love it. love everything about him and how his development is going. He is being a force on that defensive end side of the ball. Questions around the Texans run defense. They did struggle heavily on the run. That's how the Bucks kind of just nailed it down on the field on them in the fourth quarter, and Baker did Baker things to win the game. Harrison versus Anderson. That's going to be a tackle versus defensive end. Watch out for that. A lot of zone coverage for the Texans on dropbacks. That's kind of showing maybe potentially that they feel a weakness in man coverage, that their guys can't handle one-on-one from the Texans. The Jags, though, I mean, they have three wide receivers currently that can just ball out at any moment. I think Travis Hunter, Brian Thompson Jr., and someone else there. I forget who. Someone else there. Drawing a blank. Might be a tight end. I don't know. Big dude. But I know that the Jags got three offensive weapons. Texas going into zone coverage. Gonna see how Liam Cohen handles that, and is Trevor Lawrence gonna read that coverage, man? Read that coverage. Watch out for that. Dropbacks from Brian Thompson. Drops from Brian Thompson Jr. He's been targeted 19 times. He has caught the ball 5 times. What's going on there? That man is struggling. That game, I have the Texans. I'm a ride or die with the Texans, but my gut feeling is the Jaguars. But then when I think that, here's the reality. When I think that, I think the Jaguars, and I'm like, the Jaguars are gonna mess it up, and the Texans are gonna win. So Texans all day. D'Amico Ryan's gonna get that team right. We're gonna see that, no problem. Colts versus Titans. Oh my God. If the Colts lose, first 2 weeks, they're going to be the Saints of 2025. Because the Saints 2-0. Everybody's saying the Saints are here to play. Derek Carr is one of the best quarterbacks ever. We all slept on him. Devontae Adams should have gone to the Saints. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? Derek Carr retires. The Saints are trash. And this year, they're expected to be the worst team in the league. The Colts on watch. Officially. The Colts on watch because they beat the Broncos, but the refs had some say in that game. Leverage is leverage. I hear you, but really? Anyways, it's not the point. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for me lashing out right there. Cam Ward looks good. They have that rookie wide receiver, Elik Ayomanor. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Fun to watch. Great team to fun to watch. They have a good defense. I think that defense is solid. I think Sean McVay, though, just read them and took the top off. Can Danny Dimes do the same thing as Daniel Jones, same as Mike Stafford? I can't compare those two. I think Matthew Stafford is definitely a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. So are they going to have the same results? Who knows? And can Cam Ward break apart that Colts defense that held the Dolphins to nothing? The Dolphins were kind of like, the Colts offense is hot, red hot, but that defense, not fully convinced on that Colts defense, but I like that Colts offense. Alec Pierce, though, going against Snead. Snead was on Devontae Adams. He made Devontae Adams didn't get a catch, was really effective until the fourth quarter, I would say. So definitely watch out for that. Alec Pierce is a deep threat, so we'll definitely see that. Tony Pollard and Jonathan Taylor. Watch out for Jonathan Taylor. Can the offensive line take care of that defense? Taylor, 48.3% success rate in open space. He's an explosive back, baby. Give him a ball, and it'll be fun to watch. I think this is another good game to watch. It might be in the third box of my 1 p.m. NFL Sunday ticket games. We shall see. I am going with the Colts winning this game. Next, we got the Raiders going against backup quarterback Marcus Mariota and the Commanders. We all saw that on Monday Night Football. Geno Smith has problems, man, because I got issues. Like, what are we talking about? What is going on? We need to see more out of Ashton Genty, but Chip Kelly's the offensive coordinator. What am I thinking? Drafting him on my fantasy team? He's never going to run the ball. We're not going to see Ashton Genty do anything until his third year. Who knows? Who knows? God, like, run a screen, Chip Kelly. Run a screen. Figure it out. And because of that, I'm going with the Commanders. Geno Smith is tossing that joint like he's Brett Favre. I don't know what he's doing. He's doing too much. That offense is good enough. You have Brock Bowers. You have Ashton Genty. You don't like the reason why is Ashton Genty getting. Why isn't Ashton Genty getting the ball? It's 3rd down and 20. But on 1st and 10, run the ball. Run it. And don't have Geno Smith. Set, motion, hot, 2-minute motion, 15-yard penalty. 1st and 25, Geno. First pass of the game is a pick. And then Geno Smith has the balls to look at Genty when he steps to the wrong side of the handoff. Be like, get out. Geno, you get out. Give me the Commanders all day. Nothing else to say. Commanders are a good team. The Raiders, bro, what are we doing? Rams, Eagles. The Rams versus the Eagles. I can't do anything else but go Rams. Listen, we got some guys up front that I think can handle that run game. I think our secondary is good enough to cover AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. The only concern is which linebacker is going to watch Jalen Hurts. We have Landman in there, so I have faith. Jalen Hurts swagger. The outcome of this game, I'm not going to be hurt. I just hope it's a good game and not a beatdown. But if it's a beatdown, Rams all day. Let's go. Rams all day on that one. Falcons versus the Panthers. Nothing much to it. I like Michael Penix. He has my hopes and dreams for, I think, the best quarterback coming out of this draft class of his. Bijan Robinson. Massive fan. Playing the Panthers, Bryce Young did something in the 4th quarter against the Cardinals. I don't think he's gonna see a defense like this. His Falcons defense is one of the top 5 defenses in the league, without a doubt. Give me the Falcons on that one. Steelers versus Patriots. I have not decided still on this until it was the time I had to pick for the next graphic. So I chose Steelers. I think Aaron Rodgers can find the weaknesses in Vrabel's defense, and we'll see where that goes. So we're going with Steelers. Packers, Browns, and give me the Packers. What are we talking about? Next, Jets, Bucks, Baker Mayfield Magic. I love me some Baker. I love me some Mayfield. I love me some Magic. Give me the Bucks. Broncos, Chargers. I'm gonna go Chargers on that one. Chargers on that one. I love I love Harbaugh's. I love the Harbaugh brothers. And I love Justin Herbert. Sorry. And Omar Hampton. I'm a running back guy. Marlon Hampton, I'm watching for you, brother. I hope you have a good game. I really do. J.K. Dobbins, show him what you're about. Come on now. But I hope that's a good game. But if I have to pick, I'm going to pick the Chargers. No shade at all to either team. Seattle Seahawks versus the Saints. Give me the Seahawks. I like Sam Darnold. I love the resurrection. I love JSN. I love Kenneth Walker. Give me. And I love Leonard Williams. Shout out Leonard Williams. He plays Magic the Gathering. So do I. Get me on your show, Leonard. Cowboys versus the Bears. Caleb Williams still needs some time. And that defense can't give him enough time to perfect his craft. So due to that, I'm going to go to the Cowboys. They look like a more sound team going into week 3. Cardinals versus the 49ers. It's Mac Jones, but Kyle Shanahan, head coach, done it for a while, hasn't got the ring yet. Is it crazy? Have they got the ring? When was it 49ers won the Super Bowl? Once the Super Bowl, they won. I gotta check. Let me look it up. Last time. $1995. Yep. But they've been in so many. Kyle Shanahan hasn't got one, but the Rams have. Sean McVay has. Come on. I low-key want to switch this one, but it's too late. But low-key, I'm rooting for the Cardinals in this one. I think the 49ers are going to win, but I'm rooting for the Cardinals. Chiefs versus Giants. Give me the Chiefs. Oh, honorable mentions going into my savory matchups were the Chiefs-Giants game, because the Giants, if their defense gets it going, I think they can stop the Chiefs. And the Cardinals versus 49ers, because I think the Cardinals, they're 2-0, and maybe they're legit. I don't know. I kind of want to see that. I kind of want to see this game, see if the Cardinals are legit. And then Monday night, well, you'll see that on Monday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out everybody who dropped by. What is up, people? Holy. Hello. Yeah. I have just one last thing and then I'm out. Thank you so much. Thank you. I got my picks for the week. I'm leaving you guys with 2 parlays and my satisfying, so satisfying pick of the week. So for my week 3 bets going into the NFL, I have a 1 p.m. 5-pick parlay, money line games. I got the Bucks winning. I got the Falcons, Colts. Oh snap! I gotta show you guys this one. So that's what it looks. These are my picks for Sunday. Sorry. These are my picks for Sunday. All selected. This is my parlays going into NFL Week 3. I usually have 2 parlays and a bet. I am betting on the Rams to win, and I think I'm gonna do a Kyren Williams TD parlay with that. We'll see. I might tweet it out, but these are already locked in and already posted. I've already bet them. I have my Week 3 NFL bets, 1 p.m. 5-pick parlay, money line. I got the Bucks, of course, beating the Jets, without a doubt. The Falcons mopping the Panthers, no problem. Packers beating the Browns, who could have thunk it? Colts, even if the Colts put 20 on the board. I think they can win that game. So Colts, easy winner. Texans, this is where the parlay can just fall apart. But isn't that what we do it for? Texans. Let's go, CJ. We need this. We need this. This is the one game that can throw all this away. But I like living on the edge. So, scare me. Next, I have a 6 running backs TD parlay for the 1 p.m. game slots. I got Bijan Robinson with the TD, anytime TD. Jonathan Taylor with the anytime TD. Javonte Williams, Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, and Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has gotten a touchdown for so far 17 games in a row. So, keep an eye on that. Those are my parlays for Sunday's games. I like to do 1 o'clock bets and then 4 p.m. I don't need to gamble anymore unless there's a game, unless there's a gamble, a bet I really want to put on. But I like to do all my parlays in one slot, so I'm not waiting the whole day to see if it hits. If we have a 4 o'clock parlay, I will tweet it out. Make sure you follow me on my Twitter at IADSAD All my Twitter viewers, what is up? Appreciate y'all. And this is my last to send you guys out. This is my satisfying pick of the week. Give me the Buccaneers -6.5 spread. Put your whole house on it. Put your whole house on it. Buccaneers -6.5. Put your whole house on it. Because guess what? We're going to be living in the hills. And I'm going to have a car tomorrow. On Monday, I'm going car shopping. Because the Bucs 6.5 spread is going to hit. And I expect to see all of you guys hopping in on that one. That is it for me. Anything else? I think that's everything. Where are we at? An hour and a half? I think that's everything. I do have the Rams money line, but that's a risky bet, and that's just mine. Yeah, that's it. That is it. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Everyone dropping by. Thank you all for the follows, likes, chats. Thank you. It means a lot. It does. But I'm out. It is 9:30. That was fun. I like doing that stuff. Get in, get out. No harm, no foul. Get through with some stuff. Check out my YouTube. I uploaded all the stuff from Thursday night's Sportscast. And yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed that a lot. It was a lot of fun. Curious games I'm curious about though, man. Like the Texans Jags game got me sweating. That's gonna be a hard one. I think my 4 in the box. Well, that's a good segment. My 4 in the box for 1 p.m. My 4 in the box for 1 p.m. is going to be the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New England Patriots. And now it gets tough. My 4th game going in the box is NFL Red Zone. No, okay. All right, let's pick the 4th game. 4th game in the box 1 p.m. with the Rams versus the Eagles in one, Texans versus the Jaguars in another, and the Steelers versus the Patriots on the third and the fourth matchup. Oh my God. It's a tie between Commanders and Raiders because of Austin Gentry being on my fantasy team, and the Falcons and the Panthers because Drake London being on my fantasy team, and also like Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson. We're going against the Panthers. I was watching that. In the fourth game in the box is the Packers versus the Browns. Okay, I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good Saturday night. Going to watch some college football to end my evening. Michigan, Nebraska. What a good game. What a fire game that was. But man, oh man. Shout out everyone who chatted, followed, viewed. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you guys. This was a good one and a great one. Thank you. I mean it. We will be back Monday. Yeah, I'll be back Monday. Yes. Monday for Monday Night Football. Yes. My Twitter is @IADS Suga. I'm actually live on there right now. So I go live on all three: Twitch, YouTube, and X. So make sure you guys enjoy your weekend. I will enjoy mine. I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.